Good afternoon, folks. It's Suzanne, and today we're going to make salmon patties, or salmon cakes, whatever you want to call them. And the inspiration for this dish was I had one of those enormous 1-pound clamshells of fresh organic spinach, and I needed to do something with it. So what I did was I went to this really clever New York Times cooking app, which you can download onto your smartphone very easily, and you can search by ingredient. You can do the same thing on the internet. Actually, you could do it on Google, I suppose. Just, spinach recipes. And I didn't feel like making a spinach quiche, which is normally what I would make. And I was looking for a main course meal. And this is actually really intriguing to me on a couple levels. One is I love making salmon patties, because I make them, several, and then freeze them. And they're wonderful to have with a salad when you just don't feel like cooking one evening. So perfect meal for that. Also, I love the idea of using spinach with the salmon. I thought that was very clever. Now, this recipe it says it's by Melissa Clark, and it's called Potato Salmon and Spinach Patties with Garlicky Dill. So guess what? As usual, I do not have all the ingredients. So this is my version. So just follow along. I'm going to start with 2 6-ounce cans of salmon. And this is from good old Costco. Now, I, of course, did not have one of the key ingredients, which was mashed potatoes. So instead, I'm using 2 cups of smushed rice. Now, this is what happened when an experiment of mine did not go well. It was a slow cooker. I put rice in a slow cooker and came out with mushy rice. So, and here is what is left of that enormous 1-pound box of spinach. And I just quickly sauteed it with a little bit of olive oil. Now, I'm going to be using my hands throughout this whole thing. They are clean. I just washed them with lots of soap and water, and I will try my hardest not to touch myself. My face, I mean. You know what I mean. Because I'm always adjusting my glasses and that kind of thing. By the way, you see that stripe there? That's my gray hair growing in. I'm very excited. I think it looks really lovely. So, anyways, I didn't, wipe my head with flour, which is what normally I would have done, right? Okay, so as you can see, I have put the rice and spinach in there, and now I'm going to just add in the salmon. And I think this is a wonderful way to add, vegetables. We're always looking for ways to, I'm adding 2 eggs now as I talk. We're always looking for ways to add more vegetables and fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables. And my glasses are slipping and I really want to push them up, but I won't. I'm going to add in a cup of breadcrumbs, and these are fresh breadcrumbs that I literally just made. So 1 cup of breadcrumbs. And then, so we're always looking for ways, I'm just using the back of my hand, to incorporate more vegetables, fresh vegetables, into our meals. And this is a great way to do it. So now I'm going to gently start to combine the 2 eggs, the rice, the spinach, and the breadcrumbs. Now, before I go too much farther, once everything's because we're going to very quickly go right into the patty making. And I've got to do 2 things that I completely forgot. Well, not forgot, but, and I'm going to wash my hands again. So, I know, godliness is next to, no, cleanliness is next to godliness, and I try. Not always successful, but I try. Look at that stripe. It's really getting to be a skunk stripe. Okay, let me wash my hands so that I can tell you about the seasonings that I'm going to use. And I'm also going to use something that I think you will probably think to yourself, what is that poor woman thinking? Well, I don't know. I just like to try new things. So, here we go. These can be, because really everything except for the egg is cooked, basically, we can let these, we can either bake these or fry them. And it's your choice. You know, frying, I think, will give you a nice crust. Baking, especially if you're doing a bunch of them, is just easy. So, all right, enough talking. Now, I'm going to add in my seasonings. And you might be kind of surprised by some of them. So let's start with this. This is a blend that I got at Nature's Grocers. It's very simple. Let's see, where's my spoon? Clean spoon, clean, clean. It's parsley. It says it's parsley, sesame seed, black pepper, garlic, green onion, and lemon peel. And I think all of those, I'm adding in, let's call it 2 tablespoons. I'm adding, I think all of those flavors go beautifully with our fish. Now, as you know, that's probably half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So we've got that. Now, and I'm looking for my little grater, and of course I have no idea where it is as usual. You know, I try very hard to be organized when I start these programs, and sometimes I am, and of course sometimes, let's see, is it in the dishwasher? No, it's not. I don't know where it is. Good grief. Oh, here we go. Here's backup, our backup. See? Ta-da! That's why you should always have more than one of things if you can. Now, we're just going to grate nutmeg. Nutmeg and spinach go together like ketchup and mustard. They're just fabulous. They just, oh, fabulous. They just do nice things for each other. Now, here's the thing that's kind of controversial that I'm thinking of, is this is gorgonzola. And I thought, gosh, Suzanne, that's kind of crazy. But then I thought, you know what? The sharpness of this gorgonzola, let's see, we'll add two good teaspoons, heaping teaspoons. I think the sharpness of that flavor would go beautifully with the spinach and with the salmon, because you know salmon's kind of just, I don't know, salmon is not a real sharp flavor. It's a rich flavor, but it's not a real sharp flavor. Okay, so this is really ready to bind together. And what we're going to do, look at, see my fork fell into the egg. Now, I want to turn this a little bit so you can see flour in this first one. And I'm going to add just a little sprinkling of salt and a good sprinkling of pepper. And then I'll grab my whisk and just give it a little whisk. And I'm touching my glasses like there's no tomorrow, aren't I? Okay, so here we go. We have flour with salt and pepper in it. In the second bowl, I have 2 eggs that I've just beaten lightly. And then my remaining cup of breadcrumbs are over here. So you can imagine what's going to happen now. And we're just going to get started. Just make these as big or little as you want. I can't wait to try these. These are going to be so good. I can just tell already. The rice, or if you had used Melissa's recipe exactly, her mashed potatoes, I think either one will be fine, honestly. I mean, they certainly act as a wonderful binding agent. And there we go. So you can see, nice little patty with our little crumbs, and they're really, actually, look at this, they're actually the size of a small hamburger patty. So you could make these into little sandwiches. What I'm going to do is keep them about this size, and after I put them all together, I'm going to freeze them. Well, I'll keep a couple out for my dinner, but other than that, I'm going to freeze them. Okay, so dip them in flour, dip them in the egg mixture, and then dip them in your little breadcrumbs. Give them a nice little pat. Either way, I think that what you'll want to do is, see, I'm not very good at size control because that one's a little bit bigger than that one. Anyways, we're at 11 minutes. I really should stop. I would let them dry out a little bit, either here, if your room is like, here in the mountains where it's about 50 degrees in this kitchen right now, because I always have the windows open, or put them in the refrigerator and just let them dry out a little bit, and then either freeze them or fry them or bake them. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. Okay, there you go. And that's it. So very easy. Look how beautiful these are. They're gorgeous. And I've still got another bowl to do, but I won't bore you with that. Now, that's it. Very easy. The experiment with the crazy rice instead of using mashed potatoes worked fine, which again goes to the entire premise of my cooking. Use what you have. The point is, yes, we want to be the best cooks that we can, and yes, when we do have all the ingredients, of course we want to follow recipes and do things, in the proper way. But never let perfection be the enemy of the good. In other words, get into the kitchen, use what you have. The point is to cook fresh, healthy, wonderful meals made with love for those we love. And that's why I do these cooking videos. I want you to get in the kitchen. So, remember, God loves you, I love you, and thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.